Welcome back to Rob Sandstrom Designs. This video is the final in a playlist series where I covered how to make a multicolored epoxy sign on a cookie, on a wooden cookie from A to Z. Everywhere from importing the picture into the software, designing the actual layers of epoxy that we're going to pour, and finally this video, which is surfacing and finishing the final cookie. So this is the fifth in the series. And if you haven't seen the others, you might want to go watch those, and I'll put a card in the top of this video. In this video, we're actually going to cover how we surface it, and I walk you through and talk you through where I start the milling process and how I go through the milling process step by step. And finally, we'll take it to the sanding and finishing process and show the end result. I hope you've picked up a thing or two as you've watched this series about how to approach a multi-layer epoxy project. If you haven't seen the rest of the series, once again, you may want to go take a look at it. If you believe I've earned a like and you like what you've seen, please give me that thumbs up. It always helps. If you have things that you would like to see in the future, put those in the comment section. I'm getting ready to start additional videos. I look for ideas that other people would be interested in. And if you don't want to miss future videos, you may want to subscribe. With that, let's get started in the video. We'll start out with me inserting the bit and telling you which bit I'm using to do the surfacing, and then going through the process of how I'm going to approach the surfacing. The silver is hardened. We've got all the colors hardened. It's now time to actually surface this thing. So I'm going to take out these shims to stop it from being level on for the pours and make sure it's nice and level to the gantry. So that'll be the first step. Let's try to make sure I didn't forget that step. Otherwise, I had a mess here trying to carve it. For this one, we're going to use this Amana bit RC2255. I have another bit on order from Rip Precision Tools I want to try, but unfortunately I don't have that yet. So I'll be using this bit. This one's always done a pretty good job. It's just the other one's got is being reported as doing even better. Shane uses the other one called Slab Slayer, and so I'm going to use this one for this job, and we'll try the other one the next time I do this and I need it. This is a 1/2 inch shank, so I need to change my collet to a 1/2 inch collet. Okay, I'll zero this over where I've been zeroing everything else. Okay, so that's the 0, or right about 0. Hit Z0, and now I'm going to go up. At first, I'm going to go up 1 millimeter just to take a layer off and see what we've got. See how that works out, and I'll work my way down a little bit at a time. All right, I've got the dust shoe on. I've got everything ready. I've zeroed. I've taken this down to a 0. I know where the wood 0 is. I'm going to come up to 1 millimeter. And I'll start my surfacing process. Well, we finished surfacing now, and now the next step is to get busy with the sander. Start out with 80 grit, work our way up to into the thousands of grits, and we'll be starting that now. All right, I took the sled off the IQCNC. Remember when I attached it, I attached this with screws, and I also attached it with double-sided tape. So now I need to take the slab off the sled, and then get busy sanding. This is also when we'll get a chance to see whether the epoxy bled through the end grain. Oh, well, that's a good sign. It came right off. Looks like this is going to be an easy one, which is nice. Now later I'll just go ahead and fill those holes. And then we'll put the recess in the back there. So as I said, the next step is hours of sanding. I won't show you all of that. I'll get started. I'm going to walk through the grit. First 80, then 120, 150, 180, 220, and then I'll start going up from there, 330, 400, up to about 1,000 to 2,000, and we'll see what it looks like at 1,000, and then we'll check it out at 2,000. So those are the grits I'm going to be working through, and that's what you'll be seeing, and I'll take little snippet shots here and there. I'm using my Festool 6-inch random orbital sander. As I said, I'm starting with 80 grit, and I've noticed already this monkey pot is pretty hard, so it's probably going to take some time. Get ready to settle in for a long winter's nap, they say in the fairy tale. When she calls, I always seem to lose my cool. Baby, I'm just a moth to your plane. And don't you know that loving you is a train wreck waiting to happen? Don't you know that loving you is a train wreck waiting to happen? Yes, it is, baby. Got no class, all attributes. Don't know if I'm talking about me or you, baby. Okay, we've sanded the cookie up to 2,000 grit. Wet sanded, we're letting the wet sanding dry out, and then we're going to apply the Odie's oil. I want to get a good feeling for how dark this is going to be, so I'm going to apply it to the back side of this plaque first, and then to the front side. Don't you know, babe, loving you is a train wreck waiting to happen. Remember, this is end grain, so it's going to be soaking this stuff up. This end grain is awful thirsty. Trying to make sure I get it rubbed in real good. Okay, time to let it sit for about 45 minutes. Come back and check it. Odie's oil applied. Looking good. Letting it soak in. Seeing how it turns out when it's all soaked in, and then we buff it off. Looking good so far. Well, that's it. We finally have our finished cookie. I've shown pictures of the finished cookie in previous videos so you knew what you were getting to. I hope I covered a few tips and tricks you might be able to use in your own projects. Once again, if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, so it really helps with the channel. People realizing that it's putting out good information. If you have things you would like me to do future videos on, please put those in the comments section. I appreciate your support, and if you want to see additional videos either on this or other laser and CNC projects, make sure you subscribe so you know when I'm putting out future videos. With that, have a great day, have a good life, until we meet again in this medium.